Coming up next on Coverage You Can Count On.
People in LaGrange County are cleaning up after storms ripped through the area overnight. We'll take a closer look at some of the damage.
Plus, a teenager is dead after a tree fell onto a mobile home in Winona Lake. We will hear from a child who was also inside when the storm hit.
And we'll go live to some of the damage that happened right here in Fort Wayne.
It's all next on News Channel 15's First at 5.
You're watching Coverage You Can Count On. This is News Channel 15's First at 5.
Now at 5, storm recovery. People are cleaning up after overnight storms caused widespread damage across our area. During the strong storm this morning, a tree 60 feet tall fell on a lake cottage and killed a man in LaGrange County. The coroner says Larry Davison died, but his wife was able to make it out alive.
A lot of people who live nearby are coping with the loss and also cleaning up damage to their own property. News Channel 15's Megan Royst has the story tonight from LaGrange County.
More than 12 hours later, neighbors here along Big Long Lake are still picking up after a devastating storm that hit very early this morning.
It was pretty traumatic.
Everybody has some kind of damage. I don't think anybody got by unscathed.
Carl Mosier has lived on Big Long Lake for 14 years. So far today, he has counted 48 downed trees, most on cars and homes.
We clocked a storm 4 years ago at 90 miles an hour, and it didn't do near this much damage.
Just a couple of houses down, Lawrence Gilbred thinks his custom-made pontoon boat may be a total loss.
I've not seen wind like this ever before, where it could lift up a pontoon boat, totally flip it upside down.
Among the damage is an even greater tragedy, the loss of a good friend, 64-year-old Larry Davison. A tree 60 feet tall fell on top of his home during the storm and killed him.
One of the tree trimmers up here knew Larry so well that he can't come down to work on the tree, just can't bring himself to do that. It's too close to the tragedy, too close to the person. He's helping everybody up here, but he just can't bring himself to work on this one.
As they mourn, lots of people on the lake tell me they're focusing on helping their neighbors with damage cleanup and rebuild.
It's kind of a close-knit neighborhood.
Yeah, everybody's like family.
Yeah, it is.
Neighbors tell me they're going to continue picking up the pieces over the next few days and still plan on enjoying their 4th of July weekend. Reporting in LaGrange County, Megan Royst, News Channel 15.
Police say a 14-year-old boy in Winona Lake was also killed in last night's storms. High winds blew down a large tree on top of his mobile home.
News Channel 15's Adam Widener spent the day talking with people in the mobile home park, which is just east of Warsaw. He continues our team coverage tonight with the latest on this tragedy.
I'm at the Fairlane Mobile Home Park here in Winona Lake, where you can see behind me the size of the tree that fell on top of the mobile home. The death of the teenager is hitting many in this close-knit community really hard. Police and fire crews responded to the tree down around 1:20 this morning. 10-year-old Corbett Holland tells us he was in the mobile home at the time with the boy who died. They were playing games on their phone when Corbett says he heard a loud crack during the storm. The tree then crashed right on top of the section of the mobile home they were in. Corbett says he found a way out, but his best friend wasn't so fortunate.
The tree was right on Danny. I thought he just got hurt a lot, like a bunch, but I didn't know he died. I moved out and then I yelled Danny's name. All I heard is, I'm sad about it. I cried this morning because I miss him.
At this point, police haven't officially released the name of the 14-year-old who died. Neighbors say he lived there with his grandmother and uncle. The boy's family was at the mobile home when I first pulled in today. Understandably, they're having a tough time dealing with such a tragic loss. In Winona Lake, Adam Widener, News Channel 15.
Friends and relatives of the teenager who died are raising money for his funeral because the family doesn't have insurance. If you'd like to help out, Titus Funeral Home in Warsaw is accepting the donations.
Here in Allen County, city crews, power companies, and several homeowners have their work cut out for them as a result of last night's storms. News Channel 15's Gina Galeros continues our coverage and joins us live from one of the harder hit neighborhoods. Gina?
Hi, Heather. I'm in the Tower Heights neighborhood, and as you can see, this tree behind me is down, blocking part of the road. Folks are having to drive around it, and if you drive around town today, you can see definitely see more effects of last night. Speaking of last night, a semi on 30 near Webster Road east of New Haven was flipped onto its side by strong winds. The driver is okay, and he told News Channel 15 that he was driving along, and before he knew it, his truck was on its side and sliding across the pavement. Now, across the county, dozens of trees have come down on power lines and some on top of homes. This house sits under debris. The homeowners aren't home, and neighbors down the street are counting their blessings.
It was kind of scary hearing like the tornado sirens and having to run and get hurt, because we've had lightning hit our trees before in the yard and stuff like that, but hearing that was just overwhelming.
Firefighters and police across the county have responded to many areas. They say the damage was widespread and not just in one area. Now, at this point, it's unclear how long cleaning up will take and how much it'll cost. We're live in Tower Heights neighborhood. Gina Galeros, News Channel 15.
There are still thousands of people in our area without power this evening. I&M's reporting around 3,100 outages in Allen County right now. That is down from around 7,500 this morning. These power outages also knocked out several traffic lights across the city, so officials want to remind you how to treat intersections where that's the case.
When traffic signals are out, we ask that all customers and the public treat traffic lights as four-way stops. If you're cleaning up, be aware. If you see a downed wire, even if you don't think it's energized or if you think it may not be an electric line, we ask that you don't take the chance and instead just give us a call.
And the number to report any kind of safety hazard is listed right there on your screen. It is 1-800-311-4634.
If you have any damage from the storm in your neighborhood or your yard, we would like to see it.
You can send us your pictures using our Report It feature or by sending them to photos@wayne.com. We do have a photo gallery on our website right now, so you can check that out if you want. Now, as we turn to a first look at weather, let's hope tonight's a lot more calm.
It looks like it's shaping up to be that way. Chief Meteorologist Nicholas Ferreri joins us with more.
That's right. Strong storms often Mother Nature's way of putting everything back in balance, and that's exactly what's happened here today. A cloudy start, but a sunshiny afternoon, and an afternoon that is pleasant, just slightly humid outside. You can see the bright blue sky from our Lutheran Hospital camera, the St. Joseph Hospital camera, and then in Bluffton, a nice blue sky there, lots of sunshine down to the south of Fort Wayne and Wells County. On our live Doppler 15 Fury storm tracker, no rain spotted now. If anything, we see just a scattered shower or two southeast of Fort Wayne as the evening goes on. 84 is our current temperature, and we have temperatures down in the low 80s at 6 o'clock, mid-70s by 9, and mid-60s by tomorrow morning. A nice, comfortable air mass moving in to get us into the 4th of July holiday. We'll talk about the latest updates on the 4th forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Nicholas. We have some breaking news tonight. A small explosion at Marion's GM plant has killed one man and left several other people hurt. According to the Grant County coroner, the man who died is James L. Gibson. He was 48. Company leaders evacuated employees this afternoon. Emergency responders treated most of those people on site. 5 others were taken to a hospital. So far, officials haven't said just what caused that explosion. Marion's GM plant makes blanks, stampings, and sheet metal assemblies for cars, vans, trucks, and SUVs.
We have new information tonight on the investigation of a 12-year-old's death in Kosciuszko County. Officials have performed an autopsy for Skylar Spoor. The toxicology tests are still pending, but at this point it looks like he died from carbon monoxide poisoning. Medics found him dead inside his home in Syracuse on Saturday afternoon. There were 2 gas-powered generators running in the home at the time. It could be several weeks before his cause of death is officially confirmed.
A Fort Wayne man will spend 90 years behind bars for shooting at a police officer several times last year. Daniel Spells received the sentence this morning. Lawyers tried to prove that Spells was insane at the time. They also claimed he was just trying to get rid of the gun and it accidentally went off. A jury found Spells guilty of several charges, including attempted murder and criminal recklessness.
Leaders at Notre Dame are speaking out about yesterday's Supreme Court ruling, the one in which the justices said Hobby Lobby cannot be forced to cover contraceptives for its workers because of religious objections. Leaders at Notre Dame call it, quote, an important and encouraging victory for religious liberty. Notre Dame has a similar case set to hit the High Court next year. In February, a federal court of appeals upheld a ruling denying the university's request for a preliminary injunction against the birth control provision. Notre Dame objects to all contraceptives for religious reasons. Right now, the school uses a third-party company to provide and facilitate access to birth control for its employees.
It's do or die time for the U.S. soccer team. They're currently playing Belgium in the round of 16 at the World Cup. It's one of the most important games the team has played in a long time. Some experts picked Belgium to emerge as the dark horse winner before the tournament even started. The Americans played Belgium in the very first World Cup tournament back in 1930. The U.S. won that game 3-0. Soccer fans across the country are cheering on the team, and that is certainly true here in Fort Wayne. Here is a live look right now at Parkview Field. The city is hosting a free viewing party for the game. You can see it there on the Jumbotron in right field. It started just about an hour ago, so there is still plenty of time for you to catch the game on the big screen.
Up next, Fort Wayne is honoring more than a dozen deployed soldiers with special banners along one of the city's busiest streets.
Plus, a Fort Wayne native is traveling across the country with just an American flag and his horse. We'll hear more about the message he wants to send.
Coverage you can count on continues with Heather Herron and Mark Mellinger.
Fort Wayne is getting more Blue Star banners near Sweeney Park. Crews put up 16 more banners along West Jefferson this morning. The program recognizes city residents and government employees who are actively deployed. The first went up last month. Now, if you know someone who is deployed, you can nominate him or her for a banner. Head to this story on WANE.com for a link to the application.
The Red Cross is asking you to help save a life this holiday week. Blood supplies typically drop to very low levels during the summer. So the All-American Blood Drive runs through Thursday and then again on Saturday. You can give at 2 locations here in Fort Wayne. Donors, by the way, will get a free t-shirt, and there will be hot dogs and ice cream available in the refreshment area. To schedule an appointment, call 1-800-RED-CROSS or visit the organization's website, and walk-ins are also welcome.
A Fort Wayne native is traveling across the country on horseback. 52-year-old Sam Hubbard was born here but spent most of his life on the West Coast. He left Oregon on April 5th carrying the U.S. flag. Hubbard says he's making the journey to bring hope to the American people.
It's time for us to stand together in this country. We've got a lot of problems that aren't going to get fixed in Washington, D.C. It's going to be up to the citizens to step up and fix them. And we seem to have forgotten that. I'm trying to give people hope and remind them that our strength is within each other. The community and the family and the care that I see across this country that people are giving to each other, it's still there.
Hubbard plans to write a book about his experience after he wraps up his trip in September. His last stop will be the Atlantic coast in Northern Virginia.
Yeah, he made a good point. I mean, the terrible stories that we're reporting today, all these communities are really pitching in up north and helping each other out.
Yeah, with that storm damage, just, you know, we were kind of lucky here in Fort Wayne, it seems. Not too much, not catastrophic damage.
Yeah, we did not have the same level of damage that we're seeing, even though we had storms that still packed quite a punch. Nice thing for everyone who is cleaning up today, we've had good weather for it. It's the beginning of a nice calm stretch of weather that takes us into the holiday weekend. There will be another warm up to come and more humidity on the way. I'll fill you in the forecast next.
Coverage you can count on continues with Chief Meteorologist Nicholas Ferreri's live Doppler 15 Fury forecast.
It's the flip side of the weather coin that we're experiencing now that our strongest storms have passed, and in fact our worst weather of the week is over. It's a much quieter pattern that we're finding ourselves in now as we head through the week and get closer and closer to July 4th. Take a look at the weather story. With the worst storms out of here, what do we have to focus on? Well, cooler and less humid air that's moving in and more sunshine that is to come this week. On Live Doppler 15 Fury Storm Tracker, no rain, no storms to track here this evening. A slight potential we could see a scattered shower to develop this evening, but that would be about it. High temperatures have been able to reach into the mid-80s this afternoon after a day that saw temperatures slow to warm after that cloudy start. 84 is the high today so far, winds from the southwest at 15 miles per hour, but those winds will be changing to the northwest tomorrow, channeling in that cooler and less humid air. 85 in Auburn now, 86 in Bryan, 84 in Kendallville, 82 in Bluffton, and 84 in Decatur. We're going to see these temperatures drop down in the mid-60s by tomorrow morning under a partly cloudy sky. This is our weather setup. It's pretty much a 1-2 punch of weather that we've been experiencing. That first punch came with the strong storms last night. We have a less humid air mass in place, and there's another system that drops on in tomorrow. It may bring us a little rain, but it will not pack much rainfall with it as it moves through. The main element that it adds to our forecast, the cooler air that's going to take our high temperatures down into the 70s for many of the upcoming days. Let's watch Futurecast here. As I mentioned, that slight chance at a scattered shower or two popping up, especially southeast of Fort Wayne, between now and 11 o'clock as that first system completes its exit through the area. Then tomorrow morning, we start off with some clouds around, but there will be plenty of peaks of sunshine as the day gets underway. More clouds during the afternoon, and just a very slight chance at seeing a scattered shower here or there as we get into the second half of the day, as that second system moves on through. Again, the main thing we're watching with that, the cooler air that moves on in. And then on Thursday, pretty quiet. No rain worries then, and barely a cloud in sight too. Lots of sunshine expected on Thursday and also for Friday, July 4th. So here's a 7-day forecast for us. 78 on Wednesday, 78 on Thursday, Friday 79, mostly sunny, Saturday 81, Sunday we're looking at a high temperature of 84, Monday and Tuesday the heat returns and humidity increases as well. Our high temperatures back to the upper 80s.
Great end of the week though, that looks nice.
Yeah, oh, it's going to be perfect for fireworks.
Okay. Thank you.
Still to come here on First at 5, the 2-Minute Money Plan.
Up next, News Channel 15's Pat Hoffman continues our new weekly financial series. He sits down with financial expert Greg Reynolds to talk about market trends and corrections.
Coverage you can count on continues. This is News Channel 15's First at 5.
On tonight's 2-Minute Money Plan, we are talking about market corrections. It's hard to believe, but we're already at the midway point of 2014. A lot of people may be taking another look at their investment portfolios at this time. And at this time, we want to welcome Greg Reynolds of Reynolds Wealth Management, our financial expert. And Greg, first of all, just kind of explain to us exactly what is a market correction.
Sure, Pat. Market corrections are normal, natural events. They're technically defined by a dip in the market of at least 10%, but not usually more than 20% in market moves.
And as far as you say normal and natural, but how often do these normal and natural things happen?
Pat, normally market corrections happen about once per year. However, in this particular circumstance, the last real market correction we had was October of 2011.
So we are overdue for a market correction, I guess some people would say.
Very possibly, that's correct. We may be overdue for a market correction. However, investors should not panic at that news.
What do you stress to investors when we are coming up on a market correction or anticipating one at some point?
Absolutely. So in the anticipation of a potential market correction, we would encourage investors to follow their long-term plan. That long-term plan should involve the disciplined taking of profits when those profits are available, and the ability to then have that cash on the sidelines so that during the next market downturn, they have capital available to put to work in good, high-quality companies. And that can ultimately be a long-term benefit for investors.
Now you say that, as you say, that the market correction can actually work for you.
That's
Tell
exactly
us a little bit
right.
about that.
So a market correction can work for you as long as you're following a plan and as long as you've been able to take profits along the way or have capital available to invest during that dip. Buying high quality companies when they go on sale has always been a good, sound, long-term strategy.
All right, so A, do not panic, and B, make it work for you, because eventually it will happen, even though it hasn't happened in quite a while. So
that's exactly right.
A couple good takeaways. Greg, always good to see you. We'll see you again next week. And for more information about market corrections, you can contact Greg at Reynolds Wealth Management. Next Tuesday at First at 5, we will have a new topic on the 2-Minute Money Plan. We'll be right back.
After lots of clouds this morning, it was nice to see the sunshine come out, but that humidity goes up with it.
That's right, but the good news is we have less humid air moving in. So today, yeah, slightly humid, but the next few days, you won't notice it at all. Tomorrow, we'll start off the day at the bit humid level of the muggy meter, but by afternoon, we'll sink down to comfortable and then remain at comfortable as we get to July 4th and even the start of the weekend. Not seeing that muggy meter increase until the start of next week. For us tomorrow at 9 in the morning, 70, at noon, 75, at 5 in the afternoon, 78. High temperatures will be held in the upper 70s for the next few days. 78 on Thursday. Friday, lots of sunshine, 79, great fireworks weather. Saturday, partly cloudy, 81, 84 on Sunday. More clouds around then. Warmer air will start moving in. Will give us some rain and storm chances, especially on Monday and Tuesday. That's when the humidity increases, and you note there the highs go back to being near 90.
All right, thank you, Nicholas.
And that's our news for now. Thank you for joining us tonight.
We'll see you back at 6.